Sanatana Dharma or Hinduism is often referred to as a way of life. What does Hinduism offer that makes it so? Before we embark on this journey, it's recommended that we switch to a fresh pair of unbiased lenses. Well, it's not going to be as simple as putting on a pair of 3D glasses. The reason? All along we have been shrewdly trained to look at Hinduism through the eyes of the Marxists and the Muellers of the world who forcibly fit Hinduism into the typical religion mold. Knowingly and motivated by some selfish goals or unknowingly due to the natural disconnect from our culture and languages, Hinduism was demeaned by the attribution of crudeness and primitiveness. We have been diligently nurtured into assuming anything that is Western as superior. For something to qualify as worthwhile, it must pass the litmus test on the Western scales. So ready to leave all that behind and jump in? First, let's take a look at some popular definitions of religion. And no, Hinduism is not a belief system. It is not tied down to a founder or bound by a book. It is not an organized religion for a closed group of people, nor does it come with some vested interest. Our conditioned minds might immediately cringe and disagree. Aren't all religions the same? Let's look at a few examples here. Music. All music is the same in the creative sense of it, but every piece has its own genre, melody, and quality. Take water. Any water is water by the virtue of its composition, but the purity certainly varies. Similarly, all religions do have some commonality on the surface of it, like praying or fasting and so on. However, the differences in inner values cannot be consolidated. In fact, the most crisp definition of religion was given by Sri Ramana Maharshi. The quest to understand the relation between an individual, the world around, and the God behind it. Jiva, Jagat, and Paramatma. So far we talked about what Hinduism is not. So back to what is Hinduism. What it is simply the truth, universal truth. And what is truth? Not a fad or an opinion. It is the fact or law. And how does any truth come to light? Through discovery, right? Like the law of gravity. However, discoveries are simpler at the physical level than at higher levels. The higher and subtler the truth, the greater the need for supersensory perception. Like realizing the nature of God, how God operates through the multiverse, and so on. Our rishis, or call them super scientists, in a deep meditative state realize the eternal universal truth or every single law of the universe at every level. The Vedas are the absolute knowledge as seen or heard by our rishis. The Puranas, Itihasas, Dharmashastras, Mantrashastras, and much more literature was then composed to elaborate the dense scientific knowledge in the Vedas. Why did our rishis undertake this mammoth of a task? I don't see any royalty or copyright benefits attached. Do you? They had one generous goal in mind, the welfare of mankind. Humanity through time immemorial has been in the pursuit of one common goal, transcend suffering and achieve happiness. Our Vedas or Sanatana Dharma prescribe dharmic ways, paths of worship, and yogic practices to tune our lives to resonate with every single law that surrounds us to ensure balance and harmony. Simply put, Sanatana Dharma acts as a regulator that helps us tread carefully on the tracks called life without derailing. Sanatana Dharma encompasses everything that is needed for a human to lead a fulfilling, happy, and successful life. From everyday mundane matters such as food habits and routine, to daily worship and science of temples, to music and arts, to advanced spiritual practices, and even the ultimate goal of self-realization and discovering God, the eternal truth firsthand. Every aspect of Sanatana Dharma, be it yoga, arts, science, music, dance, stotras, japa, kshetras, are all interconnected and so delicately intertwined. It may come as a surprise to some that practice of Indian dance or music forms would eventually lead to yogic experiences, and practice of japa and stotra would eventually lead to realizing higher knowledge. Our rishis were cognizant of the fact that the creator is no different from the created. They recognized that every cell was potentially bursting with consciousness. Eons ago, our rishis knew that we cannot even move a finger without disturbing all the distant stars, and how every single thought, every word, and every action can have an effect on the fabric of the universe. Modern day science has a long way to go to catch up to all the scientific knowledge that is already ingrained in Sanatana Dharma. It's time to start looking at Hinduism in the right light before quickly dismissing something as absurd. I would like to conclude this episode by quoting Swami Vivekananda. The Hindus have received their religion through revelation, the Vedas. They hold that the Vedas are without beginning and without end. It may sound ludicrous to this audience how a book can be without beginning or end, but by the Vedas no books are meant. They mean the accumulated treasury of spiritual laws discovered by different persons in different times. Just as the law of gravitation existed before its discovery and would exist if all humanity forgot it, so is it with the laws that govern the spiritual world. The moral, ethical, and spiritual relations between soul and between individual spirits and the Father of all spirits were there before their discovery and would remain even if we forgot them.